Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Time for a layout update and kind of what everybody's been asking about, track plans. What's the layout going to be down here in the new train room? So stick around, we're going to go right into that. All right everybody, again welcome back. And first of all, thanks for all the feedback, comments, suggestions, tips, you name it. Appreciate everybody's questions along the way. So today we're going to be talking about track planning. This is a preliminary track plan. I have been working on track plans for a bit. As you can see, they're all over the room. Different track plans here and there. And I will tell you, it's been a little bit of a challenge and a headache, definitely getting to this point. But we're finally here, I think. Fingers crossed. And you know, I've made some track plans and abandoned them just because, you know, the aisles were only 24 inches wide, something I didn't want, or I couldn't get certain things to work. I had maybe a double duck under here at the door, or would have been a double swing gate, but didn't want that. So anyway, I took some track plans from modelrailroader.com and I scaled. I pretty much took their measurements and scaled them to graph paper, and then I used those to kind of map out my own track plan, kind of cutting up parts of theirs, you know, to make mine and go from there. And when I came down here, put it on the floor, you know, pretty much was spot on, you know, when it came to my conversions, calculations, etc. So I'm pretty stoked. And I will tell you, just some of you probably can tell just from looking at the stuff on the floor where this is going. And yep, that's the Tehachapi loop. So we're going to be modeling the N scale Union Pacific Mojave subdivision from Bakersfield to, yep, there it is, Mojave Yard via the Tehachapi loop. So going to go right into the track plan now and show you guys how that works. All right, so this track plan has two levels, a lower level, a transition level, and a upper level. And we'll go into them each in a little bit of detail here. So for the purpose of this video, let's just say the train is starting here in the Union Pacific Bakersfield Yard. Train would head east out of Bakersfield Yard, past East Bakersfield. Now, this is to avoid a double duck under. I didn't want two duck unders or two swing gates at the entrance, and also to provide a little bit more running here, coming back through, like, you know, to capture like Sandcut, Bina, Ilman, and Edison. So the train's actually going to go through the wall here. It's going to come around my AC unit, my HVAC unit. It's just going to, and then it's going to come back through the wall on the next level up. Okay, and this level, I'll show you guys on the floor how this will work in a minute. This is Edison. We'll have some industry through here. Sandcut, Bina. You've got the two bridges over the washes in Bina. Ilman, Caliente Creek, and the train will actually be climbing here. Caliente, it's going to come back. You'll have a couple tunnels here. I think tunnels 1 and 2, and then we'll start like the Beeville siding. We'll have this Beeville siding all the way up to here, about tunnel maybe 3. Cliff. Got to condense it a little bit, obviously, for the purpose of the room. We'll have Cliff. Probably maybe try to get 1, maybe 2 more tunnels in there. And then you've got, it comes into Woodford here. Woodford, you've got Waylong, Tunnel 9, and the loop. Double track here. It's gonna go through, there's Tunnel 10 here, where only one of the tracks will pass through. Marcel, which is double track. And then here it'll go down to single track for cable, which will be the 3 tunnels on the east side of the loop. And I believe it's only 3 tunnels now, or there was 4. I'm not sure if it's still 3 or 4. I got to verify that because on Google Maps, it's very hard to tell if it's 3 tunnels and a cut or 4 tunnels. So if somebody can let me know, I'd much appreciate that. It's going to pass through the town of Tehachapi. It's going to come across a swing gate here, which will be pretty good height, be about 50 some inches, about light switch level, just above the light switches. So I probably could just duck under it, but it's going to have a swing gate too, just in case. It'll pass the town of Monolith. And again, this will be double track from just past Cable on Monolith. It'll come into Mojave Yard on the upper level. And then down here, Mojave Yard, as most know, the Union Pacific line would go south to the Cajon Junction, or the cutoff. I'm trying to think of the name. It goes down to Cajon Subdivision, but it's still, I guess, considered Mojave Sub. And the BNSF tracks would actually go this way to Barstow. So I can't do that, unfortunately. So what we'll do is we'll just have one of each track running on the upper level, and they'll probably be partially hidden, or they'll disappear. And then into the scenery, they'll be, once they start, they'll start descending pretty much right around here. And then once they get to about the height of this scenery, give or take, they'll disappear either behind it or under it, and then they'll come back here behind the loop, and then they will start to descend. They'll probably have a couple loops down below from the loop, underneath the loop, excuse me. And then once they get down here, this will become West Bakersfield. These will be the BNSF staging tracks, or the BNSF yard here. And then Kern Junction, like right here, and then the Union Pacific trains would end up back in Bakersfield Yard. So for this, because on the upper level, the BNSF is on the outside track. If it ended up on the outside track here, it would be on the Union Pacific track. So what we have to do here is we have to take that Union Pacific inner track and loop it over, take it one additional pass, take it over the BNSF tracks, and then now Union Pacific is on the right track, BNSFs are on the right track going into the yard. So that's on paper. All right, now let's look at the layout itself on the floor. Now, I haven't taped out everything yet, but like I said, I taped out the main areas that, I wanted to make sure fit. So, again, and I'll try to zoom in a little so you guys can see. Bakersfield Yard, this is gonna be your Bakersfield Yard. Makes the turn here. This is East Bakersfield. It's gonna go through the wall. And this is not finished yet, so I have the luxury. I was gonna put closets in here, but I can run it behind the closet, come through the wall, and I can just almost angle the wall so it goes behind there, and then just passes either. I have mechanical here, mechanical over here that I'm gonna have just dedicated for all my HVAC stuff. And I'm gonna probably just have a section in there that is easily removed or can easily be dismantled if need be, like if I ever have to work on the machine or anything like that, or have somebody in. Anyway, it's gonna do a loop there, maybe 2 if it needs to. It's gonna come back through the wall, only now it's above itself, where it was before. This would be Edison. It's gonna turn the corner, Sand Cut, Bina, Illman, down here, Caliente Creek. And again, Caliente here comes back on itself, as Caliente does. There's going to be tunnel 1 right around here somewhere, tunnel 2 probably, and then we would start the Beeville siding. Kind of want the Beeville siding to be hidden from you know, this viewpoint over here. So you've got the Beeville siding, and I apologize for having the finger in the video. It just helps show where we're going because the track is a little bit hard to see on the floor with the same color floor. Cliff right around here somewhere. Beeville siding would end. Maybe tunnel 3, 5, you know, a couple tunnels there. And then you'd come into Woodford, double track again through, or no, actually, excuse me, Woodford to Waylong, tunnel 9. Here's your loop. Would be begin double track here on the, just when it passes through tunnel 9. So the loop would be, the upper part of the loop would be double track. And you've got tunnel 10 over here roughly. Marcel goes back down to single track. You would have the 3 or 4 tunnels here. Goes back to double track. Then you've got the town of Tehachapi. Now could probably run that all the way to there if I wanted to. And then you'll have it cross in front of the entrance about this height right here, which would be just above the light switch. It's about 53 inches, I believe. I'd have to look at my measurements. Turns the corner. Now you're at Monolith. And upper level obviously is Mojave Yard, you know, about this height. I've got these right now 63 inches for Mojave Yard. That's just at eye level for me, a little bit of below eye level. I've got the transition level roughly about 51 inches there, and it would probably be for the most part about the same down this wall, just to kind of give it a nice clean look. Some descent there, ascent down here. And then Bakersfield Yard right now sitting about 38 inches off the ground. Let me know what you think on those and the spacing. I'll come back to the loop. Down here is where it's going to turn the corner. And again, BNSF goes to Barstow realistically, and the Union Pacific tracks go to the Palmdale cutoff. That's what I couldn't think of earlier. And so those two tracks would run parallel to each other up here above, you know, Caliente Creek, Caliente. They'd probably join that. They'd probably reach the scenery just behind Caliente. And then they could start disappearing behind it. They'd end up coming here to about where the loop scenery is. And then I could just do 1 or 2, however many passes I need to underneath the loop, get it down back to the level it needs to be. And then I would have my BNSF tracks, staging tracks there, West Bakersfield, etc. And now you're back to the Union Pacific tracks. So just, that's a lot. That's a lot to absorb. I apologize if I went too fast. I know it's probably hard to see the track on this floor because of the brown on brown, but I will tell you, right now this loop, this area about 9 feet across, from here to the wall is about 8 feet. So right now you're looking at that loop is about 6.5 feet in diameter. Pretty good sized loop, should be fairly prototypical. I think 7.5 is the realistic conversion if you were to do it. Aisle width, about here it's a little bit wider, but down here you're looking at about 30 inches for the most part throughout the layout. Might be a couple areas where it's like 27, I think, but for the most part 30 inches. So undecided on what I'm going to do underneath, like this area down here. Might have like some, you know, a workbench, maybe control panel somewhere in here. But yeah, that's my layout at a glance. And I know it's very rough. And like I said, once I get some cleaner looking track plans, I should have those, you know, up on my channel, and also maybe I'll post them here. So I do appreciate the feedback, the comments, suggestions, as always. And let me know what you guys think. I also am in need of a name change because can't do Cajon sub anymore. As much as I wanted to, you know, like I said before, wanted to do Cajon sub, but I just couldn't make it work in here without abandoning the UP Highline. It took me like many tries just to get this track plan right. And, but I am soliciting, you know, name suggestions. I kind of came up with the N scale Union Pacific Mojave subdivision. I didn't want to just do N scale, or I didn't want to do N scale Mojave subdivision because KRP Models, Corey has that same name. Probably wouldn't let me anyway, but you know, don't want to copy his name. So maybe I'm thinking just N scale Union Pacific Mojave subdivision. But let me know what y'all think. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all checking out the video. I know a lot of people have been asking about track plans, and here's your first glance at one. So I'm hoping to break ground on bench work here soon. That's not it. It's just that's scrap that I was using kind of to lay out stuff on the floor. I might use some of it, but most of that's probably just what it is, scrap. But hoping to break ground on bench work in the fall, if not sooner, and you know, work down here a lot in the fall and winter. And hopefully next video we'll be doing some track planning, or not track planning, some track, bench work, etc. All right, thanks everyone for watching. Happy Labor Day. Have a safe weekend. And one last look at Mojave Yard. Take care.